So just before we begin, we're going to move through some gentle, just very gentle grounding breath work to begin with, and then move into a movement practice, and then finish with a nice long restorative replenishing meditation. If you are pregnant or postpartum, or if you have any injuries or anything that might impact your mobility, then please just go gently and modify where you need to. Obviously, I'm not with you, I can't, I'm not in a room with you like I would be normally. So if you need to just listen to your body, it's really an opportunity to tune in and listen to your body. So if something doesn't feel good, then just take your own version of it. Most of the movements we're going to do are very gentle and quite slow moving. So there shouldn't be any issues, but if there is, then listen into your body. And also we're going to be starting lying down and also finishing lying down. If you are pregnant, then it is better and recommended to lie on your left side. So maybe grab some pillows or anything that will make you more comfortable if that is where you're at today. Okay, so now is your invitation to lay down and start to rest your body. So just take whatever you need to get comfy, to get cozy. And if you want to press record on the playlist now, then you can. And it should hopefully give you the opportunity to just settle in. So just do whatever you need to start with to get into this relaxed restorative position. So lying down on your side or lying on your back, using anything like pillows underneath the knees that can be really nice and supportive. If you need a pillow for under the head, then take that as well. So just use this time just as an opportunity just to arrive into the space, into your practice, into this session. Just letting the body land, maybe for the first time in days, weeks, months. And just start to notice how the body is feeling. And then take 3 lovely, long, replenishing breaths in through the nose, and then just sigh the breath out through the mouth. And one last big breath in, filling up the whole body. And a long, gentle whisper of a sigh out through the mouth. Just allow yourself this time. Give yourself permission to fully replenish and to focus just on yourself for this session. Now, as you're resting here, start to notice the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor, with the ground beneath you. Start to notice how your body is held here in this secure space. Start to see if you can just let the earth beneath you hold the body. Let go of the need to brace or to tense or to force anything, and just allow the body to soften. Just 1% more. Just 1% more relaxed than you were a few moments ago. Now bring your awareness into the head, the temples, all the muscles in the face, and particularly the jaw. And consciously invite that part of your body to soften and release its tight grip. Maybe even opening the mouth and wiggling the jaw just to release any feelings of holding here. And now move your awareness down into the shoulders and the chest. And invite the shoulders to gently ease away from the ears. Invite the shoulders to soften and let go of any heaviness, any burdens that they're carrying. And now move your awareness down into the belly, into the abdomen, into the womb space, the whole of the lower belly. And invite that part of you to consciously soften and relax. No need to hold on to the tummy muscles or to hold the breath in. Now move your awareness down into the hips, the pelvis, and allow the pelvis to feel a little heavier, a little more earthed, a little more supported. Now move that awareness all the way down the legs, into the feet, and consciously let the lower body soften. Releasing the need to brace or to hold. You don't need to hold yourself up in this moment. You can allow the body to be fully supported here. Now just begin to witness your breath in this moment and witness how the breath is moving through the body. Notice how the breath moves in through the nostrils, down into the chest, down into the belly. Notice how that breath circulates and moves, and be aware of the path that it traces through the body. Just watching it with curiosity, without the need to force or change anything. Connecting with the sensations that the breath brings. Any temperature changes, any feelings of expansion, any movement in the body that you notice simply from the breath. Just watch with curiosity. And then notice if there are parts of the body that are holding on, that the breath doesn't quite reach into. Just notice them and become aware of those parts of you. And then invite them to soften too. Invite them to release their tight grip, to release any blockage, and let the energy flow. And now seeing if you can lengthen the breath just a fraction. Just allowing that tiny bit more air to come into the body, to fill yourself up with every breath. And notice if you're holding the breath or forcing the breath. Allow and receive the breath. Receive the breath in the parts of you that feel a little tender. Receive the breath in parts of you that feel a little raw. Receive the parts of the breath in parts of your body that maybe haven't received the breath for a while. And with every breath that you take, with every inhale and every exhale, Trust that there is an element of replenishment with every cycle. That you are filling your body back up. That this rest is sacred. That these moments are sacred. Just for a little longer, just rest here in this space. Just let the body be held. And then ask yourself the question, what do I need? What do I need from this practice? What do I need from these moments? What do I need to receive or to open up to? And honor that need. Honor what it is that you crave, that your mind, your body, your soul is craving in this moment. And then with a deep, deep, long breath, breathe everything you need in, and then sigh out anything that you do not need anymore. Again, breathing in everything that you need. And breathing out everything you don't need. One last big breath to welcome in everything you need. And with an open mouth and as much sound as you need, sigh it out. Now just gently bring your hands onto your heart, just placing one on top of the other for a moment. Just taking a moment just to check in with your heart. Listen to any whispers, anything that your heart craves. To be here with for a moment with this gentleness. And if you would like to welcome in an intention for your practice, then you are welcome to do that now. If there are any words that you would like to embody with this movement, any feelings that you would like to feel, allow that intention just to bubble up if it's there. Don't force it. If there's nothing, then just let that be. And then we're very, very slowly going to make our way back up to a seated position, but do this in whatever way feels nourishing to you. So take your time, there is no rush. There's no need to hurry here. And you can keep the eyes closed for as long as you would like to. In fact, I encourage the eyes to be closed for as much of this practice as you would like or feels comfortable. This isn't about perfect postures or making shapes. This is about really connecting in with what is going to fill you up and what is going to make you feel good. So anything that doesn't feel good, then you can let that go. And welcome in this feeling of nourishment, of pleasure, of enjoyment through the practice. So if you need to find props to support you when you're sitting, you can bring a pillow underneath the hips. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You can have the legs out wide, have them out in front of you, bending the knees. Whichever position feels good, you can kneel. Take whatever movement or whatever position feels good to you. And then I invite you to close the eyes here and just connect in once more with the shoulders and start to take some gentle circles. So starting to bring the shoulders up to the ears and then slowly taking them down the back and bringing them forward again. So just connecting in with a nice slow pace of movement here. Notice if you feel the need to rush. Notice if you're forcing this. See if you can just allow it. Allow the shoulders to lead you in this motion rather than thinking about what it's supposed to look like. And then take the circles in the other direction. Just easing into this gently. If there's any discomfort, then take it nice and slowly. You can always choose to stop the movement. Lovely. And then just pause in stillness. So rest in that space of not doing anything. Sometimes that's the most uncomfortable place, the stillness. But it's actually one of the places where the most replenishment can occur. Okay, now we're going to take a nice side bend here. So left fingertips are going to reach to the side and the right arm's going to reach all the way up. Stretch up towards the ceiling and then just gently arc over. Starting to feel this movement all through the right side of the body. Releasing any tension in the muscles of the face. Keep reaching over with the fingertips. Keep breathing into the side of the body. And then slowly coming all the way back up and over. Right fingertips reach this time. Left arm reaches up and over, coming into that side bend. Soften through the jaw. Notice if you're tensing through the jaw or holding on anywhere. Keep breathing into the left side of the body. And then slowly coming back up, pausing in the middle. Fingertips can just touch the earth. And then once more, we'll take a side bend to both sides. This time seeing if there's just a little more space through the armpit, through the side of the waist, through the rib cage. Maybe even adding a little buoyancy here with a gentle little pulse. Really nourishing, just finding a little more space in the side of the body. And then once again, reaching all the way over and taking it to the other side. So feeling maybe in the side of the hip, in the side of the waist, just noticing where you feel this and where needs a little more space. Taking one more breath here and then slowly coming back up. Lovely. Take another little shoulder roll here. Whichever direction, you can move the shoulders in whichever way feels good. For anyone that's practiced with me before, you know that most of my yoga is known as wiggly yoga. So feel free to wiggle, shake it out if you need to. Doesn't always have to be super serious. Okay, so at any time you need to wiggle it out, feel free to wiggle it out. So we're just going to take a very gentle open twist here. So right hand to the left thigh, left fingertips behind you, and just gently just rotate through the spine. So no forcing here, just gently turning. If it feels good on the neck, you can turn and gaze over the left shoulder. And then gently coming back to center and taking it over to the other side. So we're not forcing or pushing with this hand. This hand is really just resting here. The right fingertips are behind you. Just feel the length in your spine and that gentle rotation here. Lovely. And then slowly coming back to center. Again, little wiggles if you need to. And then we're going to come over onto all fours here. So if you have sensitive knees, then grab some cushioning for the knees. I'm just going to come into a tabletop position. And find a nice rooted position here. So spread the palms nice and wide and plug the hands down into the earth, plug the tops of the feet into the earth. And just pause here again, just resting in this, just noticing how the body feels. And then we'll start to gently come into a cat and cow. So lengthening through the front of the body and looking forward very, very gently to begin with as we wake up the spine. And then without forcing it, start to imagine that there's this wave moving through your body as you start to gently tuck the chin towards the chest and start arcing the spine up towards the ceiling. And then when you get here, pause for a moment. Breathe into the back of the body. Breathe into the shoulder blades, into the entire spine, creating as much space as you can. And then start to send the gaze forward again. Looking forward and lengthening through the front of the body. Exhaling to round. And then just moving in your own way, but remembering this lovely undulating, gentle, gradual movement through the spine. We're not just dropping the belly here, we're finding that movement, that fluidity. Just stay with that for a few moments and just feel the impact of that on the body. And then you can stay with this. If this is feeling really juicy and lovely in the body, then stay with this. Otherwise, we're going to come into a bit more freestyle movement. So you can just tune into what the body needs and start to maybe shake through the hips, start to wiggle, start to circle, start to make space in the body using this movement. Really allowing the body to move. And I love to think of this as a way of rinsing out any stuck energy, anything that feels stagnant. We can use this movement to ease through that. So if you're feeling stuck in the shoulders, use this movement to move the shoulders. If the hips feel stuck, then use this movement to feel through the hips and to get more fluidity. And you can always completely go off the train tracks here and you can come back into a child's pose. You could rock forward and come into a version of cobra or upward facing dog if you feel that's in your practice. Whatever the body needs, whatever the body needs. Okay, taking a few more breath cycles here. So just letting that movement flow, letting that energy circulate. And then we're going to come into a child's pose. If child's pose isn't comfortable for you at the moment or available, then you can always just come to sit or to kneel, or you can come into a puppy pose. Otherwise, just sink back into a child's pose. Reach the fingertips nicely forward, so active through the fingertips and forehead, and press down onto the earth. And feel the sense of grounding with your forehead here. Feel that pressing into the earth and maybe even moving side to side on the forehead to massage through the temples, any tension in the top of the head. Just using that movement to do that. Now take 5 deep breaths into the back of your body, feeling the skin across your shoulders stretch. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to sink deeper into this. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly make your way back up, coming back to your tabletop position. Now lengthen the right leg back, tuck the toes underneath, and just start to gently wake up through the calf, through the back of the hamstring. Just gently pulsing here, really soft pulses, just to start to stretch through the back of the leg. And then switching over to the left, just gently easing through the back of that leg. And then we're going to find our way up to standing, but very, very slowly. So there's no rush here, but you can start to walk the hands back, tuck the toes under, and then just pause maybe down here in like a little squat. You can just feel into the body. You might even widen the legs, give yourself a little wiggle here, and then slowly, 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 without rushing, you can start to bring the heels to the floor. Knees nice and bent, so there's no need to have straight legs. We're not forcing anything. Keep the belly resting on the chest, on the thighs, and then just really slowly, with the feet nice and grounded, we're going to slowly ragdoll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, just being really careful of any head rushes, any need to rush. I'm just going to pop that there. And then when you get to standing, just take some nice shoulder rolls here. But all the time just connecting with your feet here. We're not going to spend lots of time on our feet, don't worry. Okay. And then reach the fingertip up, reach all the way up to the ceiling. Stretching through both sides of the waist, and now plug the feet into the floor with a soft bend in the knees. Reach those fingertips up, and then exhale, just bring the hands through to the heart and soften through the shoulders. Standing here for a moment. Feel the feet. And now soften the knees, and once again, inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Fingertips might touch above the head or they might not, and then exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. And we'll do this a few more times, but rather than just going through the motions, be conscious of every single little movement. So feel the stretch through the fingertips, through the palms, through the armpits, through every part of you that's waking up as you take this movement. Keep the feet plugged in, reach the fingertips up. Feel this as a whole body presence. Not just going through the motions. Okay, we'll do one more. Soften the knees, reach the fingertips all the way up. Bring the hands to the heart, and then just pausing here. Finding a moment to be in stillness. Noticing if there's a desire to rush to the next thing, and just allowing yourself a breath here. A breath just to be very present. Lovely. Now just release the hands and just bring the feet about hip distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. I'm just going to do a little bit of movement for the hips here. So just starting by hands coming to the hips, soft through the knees, a little bend in the knees, and just start to circle the hips here. So just going in a whichever direction feels good to you to start with. So keep the knees soft and keep this awareness in the feet. And notice if there's also this need to be really rigid here, or to sort of make this perfect, and then just see if you can let go of that and then just make those circles a bit bigger. So really thinking about bringing movement into the hips. And you might even start to notice that the upper body wants to come in. And start to circle through the upper body. So just let this be very, very intuitive. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. And then when it feels good, start to change the direction of the circles. You might notice little clunks. My hips are grinding this morning, which is not the best sound, not the best soundtrack. But just keeping fluidity going. And remembering about, we're connecting to what feels good here. We don't need to be forcing something. If it doesn't feel enjoyable, if it doesn't feel pleasurable, then let go of it and find something that does. Okay. And then slowly make that circle a little smaller, coming really tiny circles now. And then once again coming to stillness. And this time you can rest the hands at the heart, or you can rest them on the womb space, on the lower belly. And take 3 deep breaths into this part of your body. As you breathe out, just let your feet ground a little more. Soft knees, soft shoulders, soft body. Okay, with soft knees once more, let's inhale all the way up and slowly dive all the way forward, keeping the knees nice and bent as you come all the way back into that forward fold. Take a moment here just to release through the back of the neck, through the head, maybe wiggle a bit here if that feels good, through the shoulders. Take a nice breath in through the nose and a breath out through the mouth. And then we're going to slowly make our way back down to the floor. Coming back into that tabletop position for a moment. Okay, from here we're going to bring our right foot forward into a lunge. So just a low lunge here. And this might be where you stay. You might stay here and just stretch into that left hip flexor. That might be enough for you today. Or you might want to stay in child's pose, or you might want to come and lay down. Anything is welcome, whatever you need. If you're coming with me, then just press into that front foot and then slowly start to open up and rise back up. Now feel this in the left hip flexor, but stay really rooted with that front foot here. So push that front foot into the floor, opening up through the left hip. And then just bring the fingertips onto your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And again, not forcing, we're not doing a big, huge back bend here, just opening through the collarbones and the chest to create a bit more space in the front of the body. But keep pressing into that front foot. Stretching through that left. Beautiful. Take another breath here. Notice if you're clenching the jaw. And then we'll slowly bring the fingertips down and start to rock back. So we start to lengthen through this front leg, just getting a little bit of a stretch through the hamstring. So you might keep the foot relaxed here, or you might flex the foot and sink back a little bit more. You may even want to come all the way back today. That might feel really good to you, or this might be enough, or this might be enough, whatever feels good to you. Just remembering that, just breathing into the back of that leg, waking up through the hamstring. Lovely. And then on an inhale, we're just going to rock forward, come back into that little low lunge here, and then on an exhale, rock back. So just taking a few cycles of this fluid motion, inhaling to look forward and open, exhaling to come back. Couple more times. Last cycle. And then this time as we come forward, we're going to plant the left hand down and open up to the sky into a twist with the right fingertips reaching up. So either staying here, or if it feels good on the shoulder, you can start to make some circles here with the arm. So just choosing your version here, finding that lovely fluid movement. Okay, one last circle here. And then hands come down. And then we'll step back into our tabletop and then rest for a moment in a child's pose. If child's pose isn't comfortable, then you can always just come to seated. Just take 3 big breaths here. Okay, slowly start to rise back up. I'm going to do the same little sequence on the other side. So left foot's going to come forward. Take a moment just to start to open through that right hip here. And then either choosing to stay here if that feels good, or rising up into that little low lunge. Fingertips can come onto the back. Just squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pressing into the front foot. Opening through the right hip flexor. Release any tension in the jaw, release any tension in the shoulders. Just think about really shining the front of your chest forward, opening up through the front of the body. Okay, one more breath here. And then slowly coming down. Fingertips come down, and we're going to just rock back into that lengthening through the hamstring. So the foot can be relaxed or flexed, or you can come all the way back if that feels good for you. Whatever feels nice on your body, whatever feels most suitable for you today. Just lengthening and breathing into the back of that left hamstring. Take another breath here, and we'll start to move into that little more fluid motion. So inhaling to come forward, lengthen through the right hip flexor, and exhale to come back. Each time you move, maybe there's a little more space. Just finding that lovely movement. Or of course, choosing to stay in one position if that feels better for you. Coming back once more to that need that you had at the beginning of practice, and make sure that you haven't lost sight of that. Take one more cycle. And then coming forward, right hand's going to press down, left arm opens up. So staying here or starting to bring some circles into the arm here, if that feels good. Okay, 2 more circles. And then slowly coming back, pausing for a moment, and then sending yourself back, coming down into a child's pose. Of course, if you feel like you have the energy and you want to come into a down dog or do anything else, then you're always welcome to do whatever feels good in your practice. But otherwise, just pause and rest in a child's pose for a moment. Taking some nice deep breaths here into the back of the body. And then slowly we're going to make our way up and then find our way over to come onto our backs or to come to our relaxation pose. So just using whatever you need. So if you want to come onto your side, then come onto your side. You can, of course, you could always do this seated in a chair if it felt more comfortable. But I'd really encourage you to just let yourself lay down, let yourself be held by the ground once more. So just take your time, there's no rush to get here. If you are listening to the music and it has gone a bit AWOL, then the track that might be nice to switch to is the last track of the playlist, which is called Sunrise on the Hill. That will go quite nicely with the meditation, just if you would like to bring that in. So you can have props underneath your feet, your knees. You can have blankets under your head if you've got an eye bag or anything you want to cover over your eyes, and you can grab that. If you have blankets, socks, layers, anything you possibly might need, then please grab it now. Take your time, don't worry, we will not rush. And if you feel the need to wiggle, to take any twists or any other movements, then feel free to do that. Listen to the body, listen to what feels good to you. So take your time and just start to make sure that the shoulders are away from the ears, that the legs can just rest, so that there's no parts of you that are having to hold on or to brace or to force yourself into a shape. So take moments to make sure that that's not something you are having to do at the moment. And then when you are comfortable, take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and then sigh them out. And as you sigh them out, just let the body melt into the ground a little more. So just check in with the body and just notice if there's any parts of you that are still holding on to any tension. And if they are, just invite them to release. Just let them know that they don't need to hold such a tight grip anymore. Reminding yourself now that you are secure and grounded. And as you do this, just invite the body to relax just 1% more. And now give yourself permission to rest fully, to totally let yourself be supported through this meditation. There's no need to move, to shape shift. You can just allow yourself just to completely rest. So as you feel your body resting on the floor, start to imagine that you are resting under the warmth of a beautiful sunny day. Imagine how your body would feel as you soak up the sunshine and as it softens into the earth beneath you, letting these golden rays from the sunshine warm you up from the inside out and the outside in. Within each of these sun rays, there is a drop of healing gold, a warm, nourishing, and replenishing golden droplet that is radiating upon your skin and upon your body. Now we're going to move through a body scan, and at each part of the body that I mention, going to drop a tiny piece of this golden healing sun onto the part of the body that I mentioned. There's no need to move, just imagine that a droplet from the sun, this warmth, this replenishing energy, is being placed on every part of the body, beginning at the right hand thumb. So placing a droplet of this healing gold on the right hand thumb, and then placing it on the first finger, the second finger, the third finger, and the little finger. Placing it on the palm of the hand, golden sun on the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the tip of the shoulder, the armpit, the right side of the rib cage, and the waist. A drop of healing sun on the hip, on the thigh, the knee, the ankle, the top of the foot, and the sole of the foot. The right big toe has a drop of healing sun, as does the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little toe. Now move your awareness over to the left hand thumb and place a beautiful ray of golden sunshine on the left hand thumb. Now drop that onto the first finger, second finger, third finger, and little finger. Dropping that onto the palm of the hand and the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the tip of the shoulder, the armpit, the left side of the waist. Drop that golden sunlight on the hip, thigh, knee, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot. The left big toe has a drop of golden sun, as does the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. Now place that sunlight on the soles of both feet and the back of both heels, the back of both calves, the back of the knees, the back of the thighs, both buttocks, the lower back, the upper back. I'll place a drop of golden healing sunlight on every vertebrae in the spine, from the sacrum all the way to the back of the head. Place that sunlight on the crown of the head, the center of the forehead, the left temple, right temple, left eye, right eye, the tip of the nostrils, the left nostril and the right nostril, top lip and the bottom lip, tip of the chin, center of the throat. Placing that healing golden sunshine on both collarbones, both sides of the chest, the navel, the lower belly, both hip bones, both fronts of the thighs, both knees, both shins, and the tops of both feet. Now imagine that the whole front of your body is lit up with the radiant glow and healing golden rays of the sun. And now imagine that the whole back of the body is filled with this healing golden sun. Now focus on the whole right side of the body being filled with this healing golden sunlight. And now the whole left side of the body filled up with beautiful healing sunlight. Now focus your attention on the whole body. The whole body. The whole body is covered with these beautiful golden healing energy from the sun. Each drop placed on every part of your body replenishes every depleted cell within you. Rest here now and feel this golden sunshine soaking through your skin, into your muscles, into your bones, and into every single part of you. I now invite you to bask under the rays of this healing sunshine for a little while, and just feel with every breath that you are topping up your inner well. Now say the words silently to yourself. I am fully replenished. I am fully replenished. I am fully replenished. Your whole body has now been energetically recharged to enable you to bring your beautiful, nurturing energy to those who matter the most. Your body rests upon this ground, a healing space that you have found. This time so precious, a space to be, a nurturing presence to fulfill your needs. When you take time to fill your well, the whole world benefits from this loving spell. It's cast upon not only you, but those you love, and further too. It's a beautiful ripple when you fill your cup. The waves can be felt from the ground up. So always remember that you are worthy of this. Your replenishment matters and should not be dismissed. Soak up that sunshine and bask in those rays. The impact reaches far beyond the depth of your gaze. Don't forget yourself, darling. Please take moments for you. We need you recharged, with your soul nourished too. Now very slowly, start to just welcome a deeper breath. Welcome the breath to circulate a little more fully through the body, maybe with a sigh out the mouth. And start to let the body reawaken with very subtle movements, little fingertip wiggles, toes wiggle, finding little gentle movements that start to bring the body back to this moment. Start to wake yourself back up. And now perhaps introducing a stretch, maybe the knees hugged in, whatever you need. Start to gently roll to one side when you're ready and just pause there in that nurturing position for a moment. And then very, very slowly, in your own time, just finding your way back up to seated. But don't rush. And let's just bring the hands to the heart together and take a breath all together. Inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me with this practice this morning. Really grateful that you all shared it with me. I'm just going to